Hello and welcome. This is all of us today, so you guys can say it too.
Hello.
Everyone's here.
Greetings.
Yes,
We're here and we're excited.
we
and it's
are.
podcast time.
We are
Podcast
excited. Podcast time, nerd variety time.
Yeah.
Nerd conversation time. Yeah, this is our wrap up, kind of maybe catch up, end of the season finale episode. It's a little bit different than we originally planned at the beginning of the year.
Because everything's different than we originally planned at the beginning of the year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Life is different than we originally planned at the beginning of the year.
Nothing was the same.
And especially for entertainment stuff, everything's been pushed back, so we didn't get quite as much as we expected.
So it's going to be less of, hey, what new things have come out that you've enjoyed, and more, how have you been spending your mass amounts of time in quarantine?
Yeah. Yeah, so we have three things that we're going to, three main topics, I guess, that we're going to try to cover. We're going to do a what are you watching? So TV, movies. Again, obviously, there haven't been a lot of new movies out this year. But, yeah, we could have still gone back and watched stuff. And then games. So video games we've been playing, new, old, whatever. And then what are you listening to? Just to try to incorporate some more music stuff because I like music.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that. So, yeah, you guys got anything else before we just start?
I don't think so.
I am ready.
Let's go.
Okay. So, first up, what are you watching?
Right now I'm watching you and Hannah, which I do almost every Monday.
Watch me. No. Hunter has disappeared.
Can't watch Hunter anymore. Man.
No, Hunter has
I have a
left.
subscription.
I feel like the biggest thing right now is I'm an elementary school teacher online, and so I'm still meeting with my students every day and talking to them, and I'm asking them what they've been watching, and they keep mentioning over and over again things that are only available on Disney Plus. And I'm like, maybe I should get Disney Plus because I still don't have it. And they keep mentioning all these various things, and I'm like, that actually sounds kind of interesting, and I would watch that, but I can't. I can't think of anything at the moment.
Ask P-Ray. He gave me his password and everything.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. But the Mandalorian, right? Still haven't seen that because I don't have Disney Plus. Don't give me that look. So and things like that.
It would be the reason to get Disney Plus, as well as watching the Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
I was going to say Clone Wars as well,
which is something I've been watching on that.
Well, and to be completely honest, this whole the entire world sucks right now thing has made me want to take comfort in some simpler things. So I've been watching a lot of mostly K-dramas and cartoons. Right? Things that it's you have these character tropes and they're not really going to surprise you, and it's just good fun. So if I got Disney Plus, I would probably binge watch a lot of Kim Possible, if I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, I probably could have done some research for our Disney Princesses thing, but I didn't. And it really showed. Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty obvious.
Not even noticing there's a difference between Snow White and Sleeping Beauty.
I mean, in your defense, they do both sleep, but
right.
that's
a major
notice everybody.
Moment. It's a major character.
Sure.
Motive, I guess.
I don't know. Anyway, so that's kind of what's been going on with me. Lots of cartoons and K-dramas, but not Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I have been checking out the new some new shows. And finishing some of them. I finished Breaking Bad finally after all these years, which I think I mentioned in an earlier episode. Yeah,
finally,
and watched. Yeah, it was a good.
Finally,
yeah, it took a while to get there, but it was still good. Some interesting things I've been watching, that are relatively new. Solar Opposites premiered on Hulu. I think beginning of April.
Yeah.
Or sometime in April or May. I think it was beginning of May, and they released all the episodes on Hulu, and they're just hilarious and so well written, just like a very good counterpart to Rick and Morty. I really want to rewatch that. I've also
It
been
is
watching.
interesting. I saw it too, and it was just, it was an interesting. It was an interesting way to approach it because it kind of
Yeah.
turns into something different than you
Yeah.
initially expect.
Yeah, it's its own thing. It's its own thing, and I like how it's like, oh, this is not some same thing. But it's just got all these different, I guess plot has these two or three plot lines they follow through, and they manage to make everything work out during the episode.
Yeah.
But I'm ready for season 2 of that. I've been watching season 2 of Harley Quinn, and watching a couple live action shows. Agents of Shield season 7 started back this month, which is their final season, and that's on Hulu. On Netflix, I've been watching The Kingdom, kind of a Vikings, similar Vikings. It's a sort of a Dane that was kidnapped by English, and he was an English that was kidnapped by Danes, and now he's having to go through the process of like fighting other English and Danes, and also I watched the first episode of Space Force, which was very funny. Steve Carell does a great job playing the general in charge of the the fictionalized version of Space Force, which they have in the show. And there's a lot of great actors in that show too.
Yeah, I feel like I've heard some very negative things about that show. I haven't given it a chance yet.
I haven't heard any negative things about it. I mean, it just came out, and it's just 10 episodes on Netflix. I wonder what negative. I guess I'll see later if I'm watching the show, and if it seems like, oh, this writing's not very good, that's one thing. But then some people might criticize it for, they're making fun of, the Space Force or our lack of a Space Force or whatever's going on with that. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. That's you. You got anything else? Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. So you said some of mine that I've been watching. I've also been watching Harley Quinn season 2, which is it's fantastic. It's really interesting, actually. I just like last night, I think it was, or maybe the night before, I realized there were like 3 or 4 episodes I was behind on. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna watch all of them right now.
Yeah.
I did that, and it's interesting, and I think we got like 2 more. Season.
Yeah, I didn't know, I've read some Harley Quinn stuff, something, but I never really know what's going on with her. But I know her comic line does really well with DC. But I just who knows what's going on in those storylines. But now they have a whole show about it. I'm like, okay, I don't know really. I only know a couple of things that she ends up doing from like major things that she ends up doing, but other stuff is like they're just kind of end up writing something really well.
Yeah, I mean, it's more
based off that.
It's more comedy than based on the comics or anything, I think. But it's really fun. There's a lot of fun stuff in it. Also I've been going back through and finishing some shows, actually starting from the beginning to finish some shows that I haven't seen like the last season of or something lately. So I did that with iZombie, which it was good. It had an interesting ending. I don't know exactly how I feel about it yet. I don't know. That may be one I need to rewatch. I did it with The Good Place. It's much quicker to go through. I'm just gonna say.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Yeah, and I finally finished it, and I love it, and I think it had like a perfect ending, and it's a hilarious show. I always recommend it to everybody. Then I'm going through New Girl right now. I'm almost to the last season, which I haven't seen yet. So interested in getting to that point. Rewatched BoJack Horseman again for like who knows how many times.
Yeah, I think we all needed some comfort shows during this time. Like I know I watched rewatched Daredevil, like I think right around the start of everything.
Yeah.
It's just like we all need our comfort shows.
Yeah. And of course, I went through all of Star Wars: The Clone Wars, which was also fantastic, especially as they were releasing the last season during quarantine and everything. And then I decided I might as well go through Rebels too, so I did that, and it's okay. It has its moments. It's I'm not as thrilled with it as the Clone Wars, but yeah. Trying to think of anything else I've been watching. Every once in a while, I'll just watch miscellaneous movies. I don't think I'm really keeping up to date with anything too much.
I feel like I've been rewatching a lot of stuff recently. Again, just kind of like going back to old comforts and things that I know I'm going to enjoy.
Yeah.
I've been rewatching Avatar, and things like that. I've not been delving into a lot of like new material.
Yeah. Actually, I had to look.
And if it is, it's like cartoons.
Yeah, I had to look up just a second ago if the Witcher show was early this year, or late last year, and it looks like it was last year. So
End of last
so
year.
Hard to tell.
Yeah, it is. Time's weird.
I saw something that was it was like 2020 is a really weird leap year because February had 29 days and March had like 300 and something like that. It's
April
like,
had
was
5 months.
Years.
Yeah, 5 years. Like that's
Yeah.
how it feels. But at the same time, it's like we're already halfway through June.
Right?
Don't remind
it's
me.
Like, oh my gosh.
Sorry.
We're 2.5 weeks away from 4th of July. Wow. But yeah, I think that's mostly it for me. I know they just released Artemis Fowl on Disney Plus, and I've not really known anything about it, but I may be kind of interested, and I may be checking that out at some point just to see what
there's an audience for it somewhere, but I also haven't heard anything about it myself, and
yeah. I mean,
but I was like, all right.
I you know how I heard about it? I logged into Disney Plus to watch The Simpsons because I'm also going through that, and I saw Artemis Fowl new release. Okay.
Yeah.
I
remember hearing about the book when it was. I think it was when it was recently released.
Yeah, I think it was one of those where Disney kind of knew it has an audience, but it's very small. So like, just put it on Disney Plus, and because of that, we still want to put Mulan out there for everyone to watch in theaters.
Yeah. And naturally, there are many movies that we're waiting to see what happens with and how they turn out. A lot of them pushed to August, as we saw.
And even when they come out, will we go see them in theaters? I don't know. It's kind of a weird sort of thing.
Yeah. I guess we'll just. I mean, it's easy to say no because things won't feel safe necessarily then, but. I mean, for me at least, it's just going to be one of those, I'm going to have to wait and see what it's going to be like at that time.
Yeah, I feel like trying to plan anything more than like a week from now is like, why would you do that? Like, who knows what's going to happen? Like, no idea.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I think, like, I live out in a pretty rural area, and theaters like right down the road from my house. I could go by and see if like, there's a lot of people at the theater today. Okay. Not going to go today, or I'm going to wait a little while and maybe try to catch like a matinee or a weekday show. So I can.
Now is the time to go to your Tuesday 11 a.m. showings.
Right, just slip in and just be able to watch the movie and support the theater after they've opened back up. But I know in like more urban areas it's going to be harder because everybody's been cooped up. They want to see these movies on the big screen, but they're also theaters are kind of a risk. There's a kind of a risky. A risky move to make. Yeah.
Well, and then the bigger question is, do you get popcorn? That's a whole other ball of wax.
Probably not.
Probably not, right?
Thing,
like, why would you go to the movie theaters? You're not really supporting a movie theater if you don't buy popcorn, right? That's the way they make their profits, right?
And I do miss the popcorn too. I do miss it.
Yeah. But then that just opens you up to so much more risk.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Supposedly, I mean,
I do have a few that I probably will just try to go see at least try. I will try to take the chance and go see New Mutants. If they finally put New Mutants out there, I'm going to see it because it's been pushed back way too much, and I just want to see what it looks like.
I think one of the biggest reasons that I would go see it, because there's a lot of things. So like with Mulan, because I'm very excited about Mulan. I don't know, Mulan's in one of those weird zones, but New Mutants I feel like especially is something that like I feel like the big screen experience is a really important part of it.
Yeah.
Whereas like Mulan, I feel like it will hopefully will be really epic and beautiful, but like you could get away with watching it on your computer monitor.
Yeah.
Whereas like New Mutants, it's like kind of this horror thing, and like being in the dark theater with a huge screen, I feel like is part of the thing.
Yeah.
So
I'm really excited actually. I'm really interested in New Mutants just because ever since like that first trailer, I'm like, this is not what I would have expected.
Right.
And I've loved X-Men, gosh, probably since I was about 10 years old. I've just like, they've been one of my favorite like superhero lineups, and to see something, especially because I feel like their movies have not been great as of late, to see something that's like so different from the norm, I'm really excited and really, really hopeful that it's good, because it I think has a lot of really good potential, but we'll see what they do.
It does. Yeah. It's a superhero horror flick. It's like the last Fox, produced mutants X-Men movie that Disney got a hold of, and they probably changed some things, so it's in a really interesting place. And after watching, I just got done watching Dark Phoenix, which was supposed to be the end of the X-Men saga, and it wasn't really. It was kind of a bland ending. It had its moments where it was like, okay, this is kind of cool, but some things were like, yeah, I can tell they cut it really short. There's a lot of stuff they just didn't, there wasn't a lot of love into it.
And again, I think New Mutants it could be terrible, but it could also be really awesome.
Yeah,
exactly. So
gotta know.
And the last movie I want to talk about that again, we don't know exactly yet when we want to start season 3, but another movie I know that I'm gonna see, at least I expect to see before we start season 3, that I'm looking forward to is Tenet by Christopher Nolan. I was blanking on his name just for a minute, even though I was just talking about I mostly always love Christopher Nolan stuff.
That sounds accurate.
I mean, the mostly, I'm usually very hesitant about.
Oh, is this
about Inception, because it makes no sense, and it's just.
Is this the one where? Is that the one where
It's like they can.
Robert Pattinson is. I know he was like rumored to be Batman. Is that what this is?
No.
Oh, that's a different.
That's Batman that you're thinking of.
I don't know. They name the Batman movies all sorts of things. I'm looking at it. I'm like, I don't think that's what it is. But what is it?
Are you just saying that because it's Christopher Nolan?
No, because it's got Robert Pattinson in it.
Yeah, Robert Pattinson is an actor. He plays multiple roles in different movies, not all the same. I don't know.
I'm confused.
Okay.
I just heard a rumor that was a thing, and I know Christopher Nolan is
First of all, that is
Robert
confirmed.
Pattinson.
First of all, it is confirmed that Robert Pattinson will be the new Batman.
Yes, that's next year. He's playing playing Batman next year in a movie that's not directed by Christopher Nolan.
Excuse me for my ignorance.
I will not excuse your ignorance.
I cannot know all of them.
Okay, but
my brain is too full of other.
Usually, most of the time, Batman is going to appear in a movie that has the word Batman in the title.
Most of the time, sure, I agree.
Yeah. He, like Justice League, did not have Batman in the title, and he was in it. And same with Suicide Squad, yeah.
I hate you guys.
Yeah.
But
but those are, superhero movies, and Batman is, a superhero.
I asked an innocent question because I knew I was confused. You guys are giving me so much shit for it.
Hannah, why would you do that?
Now you're going to have to freaking edit that out. You're welcome.
You're so mean.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But yes, you're looking forward to Tenet. Is that right, Hunter?
Yes, I'm looking forward to that.
Which is not Batman.
No, not Batman.
Just to clarify, in case anyone out there was confused.
Yeah, in case anyone thought a movie.
It does have Robert Pattinson in it, who will be Batman, but not in this movie.
Hey, have you guys heard of The Prestige?
No.
I've heard.
Is that Batman?
No.
Yeah, I mean it's got Christian Bale in it, and it's directed by Christopher Nolan.
It's
so it must be Batman, right?
Must be Batman.
No.
And it's got Hugh Jackman, so it also is a crossover with Wolverine.
Also X-Men.
With X-Men
yes.
stuff. Yeah.
Clearly.
Oh.
All right. So we're going to move on from this horrible conversation to what are you playing?
I have things to say.
Okay, so Josh, you're going first.
Oh.
Okay.
I only have a couple of things to say. I'm not, even though I've been kind of close to, have had access to an Xbox One and a Switch. I've really been playing just Doom and Doom Eternal. I played through Doom, which I hadn't 2016's Doom, which I hadn't played through before, and it was really fun. Just a very cathartic, being able to just kill demons.
Yes. Hannah, you still haven't finished that yet, have you, Hannah?
No, I haven't.
I finished Doom.
No, but I was talking about Hannah. Because she started it, I think, before either of us.
Yeah, I did.
And we've both beaten it before.
I have a lot of games. I play a lot of different things.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely do remember playing it and being like, it is absolutely the most beautiful and disgusting game I've ever seen, and I love it for that.
Just wait till you play Doom Eternal.
I'm sure.
It's way more beautiful.
I played through a couple levels of Doom Eternal, and I ran out of time on it.
It is tough. I don't know if it's just because of the high difficulty I'm playing on. It probably is, because I immediately started on like the highest difficulty.
Yeah, you played yourself.
But it's fun. It's tough though, for sure. Especially have you gotten to like those lizard people or those lizard demon things?
I think so, but I just know that playing Doom in itself, it had its challenges, but it was still like I'm playing them both. I played them both on the same difficulty level. Doom was, I guess, I got used to the control to everything, how everything was splayed out in Doom. Then I think it's getting used to everything in Doom Eternal, which has made it difficult for me.
Yeah, it's pretty different actually. It's surprisingly different.
Yeah,
I didn't quite expect it.
Yeah. But it's still a fun game. I do want to finish it soon.
There's definitely something very cathartic about chainsawing a demon in half.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But actually, one thing...
ripping out the eyeball or the heart.
I actually watched a really... if you guys haven't watched it, go over to Polygon and watch they did a video on how Doom is essentially slapstick. And about how like they have this like really gruesome horror, but they have to do it in such a way that instead of just kind of being horrified, it actually makes you laugh. And you're like, oh my God, right? And they have a whole video on like kind of the history of slapstick and how it is played in Doom. And it's really interesting.
Yeah,
I can see that.
Yeah, you're playing a game where it's like hell has invaded Earth, or hell is like spewing out into the real into the physical world, and along with everything, all the horrible stuff that comes with hell.
Right, but it's like just the right.
You're just kind of wading through it.
Yeah, and it's just the right amount of ridiculous to make it not feel hokey, but to make it fun.
Yeah. And actually, I remember I can't remember exactly what it is, but I do remember in like the Doom 2016, there's like a moment. There's probably a few moments where like you're like Doom guy's going to do something. He's gonna like break something or whatever, and someone's just like, wait, don't do this because there are serious repercussions, and you're just like, nope, whatever, I don't care, I'm gonna kill this thing.
Well, and the many times that like you're about to kill a monster and you decide to kill them by ripping off their own arm and hitting them with it. Like classic slapstick right there.
I mean, and especially Doom Eternal, like pulling out the eyes of the I always forget what those big round guys
I hate them so much.
Cacodemons?
Are those the ones that float and like
the red ones?
Jump at you?
They're pretty easy to kill in
pretty sure it's a cacodemon.
In Eternal, because you shoot like a grenade thing. That's not really what it is, but from your shotgun, and they'll just like swallow it, and then they'll become vulnerable. So you just go up and you pull out their eye and just makes like this ridiculous sound and just looks weird.
And has the capacity to be completely disgusting and off-putting, but somehow it's not.
Yeah. It's good. It's a great game.
Yeah.
I finally finished Pokemon Silver after 17 years of trying to beat the game.
There you go.
The game I lost track of the game when I was a kid. After having it when I was a kid, and I been trying to play it on emulators ever since then, but always lose the emulator site or lose my save. And so it's just been a constant process. But I finally found an emulator that I could keep playing on and saving the game, and I finally finished it, and it felt amazing. But during this time, I also watched some friends that I was staying with. I watched them play Sword Shield, so I got to look at the stark differences of like how the game has gone since like the Game Boy Color games. It's like I was just very like it's great, and it's like you can catch all these Pokemon like in different like wild areas, but you can catch all of these Pokemon in these wild areas, and it's like it feels a lot of it's made very easy, and it's just like I thought it used to be so much of a challenge, and like they don't like there's some things that I don't know, maybe I'm just being an old fart and saying it, just being mad at Gen Zers for the sake of being mad. But
Probably.
I also played Subnautica. Have you all?
Yes.
Yeah.
Subnautica is gorgeous.
It's a beautiful game. It's really fun. It's a learning process, but it's pretty fun.
They literally just throw you right in.
Yeah. Here you go. Figure it out.
Yeah, so Subnautica is a ocean exploration survival game that is absolutely gorgeous and takes a lot to run on your computer. But it can also be downright terrifying at times because you're in this giant expanse of the ocean.
Play it on Xbox. Play it on console if you just want to go dive in.
Was that an intentional pun?
Dive in.
You caught it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Dive right in. And make sure, and if to anyone who's looking to play it, go ahead and figure out how to get water and food that doesn't kill you. So the rest of the game is easier to play.
Yeah, the survival aspect is real.
Yeah.
It's real. If you die in the game, you die.
You die in real life. No,
you die a little on the inside because you thought you were doing everything right, or you feel like you're being targeted because you don't know how to do everything in the game.
Yeah, but, it's actually funny that you mentioned Subnautica. If you're done, I'll segue into me talking about my game.
Yes, Hannah, what have you been playing?
It's actually interesting that you talk about Subnautica because in our household we've been playing a lot of Raft, which is kind of similar. It's an ocean survival game, except instead of being in the ocean, you're on a raft. And you start out with literally like 4 squares of your raft, and then you have to like collect debris to build your raft bigger, and there's a shark who will eat you or destroy like pieces off your raft, and you raft around the ocean and explore. And it's actually set in like a post-apocalyptic sort of thing where like the entire world is ocean, but there's like occasionally like one thing that's sticking up out of the water, and you go explore and get some lore bits. But it's mostly just hanging out on a raft and like trying to improve your technologies, and it's like you can discover how to make an engine and a steering wheel, and it's like, well, now it's a boat.
And you're just on a raft on this whole game. You don't go to an island or anything like that?
You do go to islands. There are little islands that are poking up out of the ocean, but they're all pretty small.
Okay, I think I've seen that play before, and you still have to make sure that you're eating and drinking water. And
so at some point you make little crop plots to plant potatoes in, and you have to cook the potatoes. But I think our favorite thing about it is it's multiplayer, and so my husband and I and my brother and his wife have all been playing together, doing this sort of cooperative. Tim's wife fishes and cooks, and then I'll steer and do this, and it's fun. It's a good time. So that's that's one of the multiplayer games we've been playing in quarantine. The other one is Civ 5. We've been having weekly family meetings where we all play Civ 5 like the entire day, with us here and with my dad in Chicago and my cousins who live like 20-30 minutes away. So it's been fun to have that as like we're not technically together, but we feel like we're together and we're all playing games. So it's been nice.
Nice.
The biggest one that I'm excited about right now, and I bought on Saturday and it's Monday now, have since logged 6 hours in, is Persona 4 Golden is available on Steam right now.
Yes, it is. And I'm if I felt like I wanted to spend money right now, then I would probably get that.
Yeah, it's only $20 right now. Well, and my biggest thing was like, I have never owned a Persona game, and I love them a lot, and I'm actually not sure like if it's going to be on Steam forever. I'm not quite sure what the deal with that is, but I was like, I want it. And I'm really hoping at some point that Persona 5 comes out on Steam because that one is the best.
Yeah.
But so I've been playing a lot of that and really enjoying that.
Nice.
And I think I had one other thing. Did I have another thing?
Well, I was going to mention to you I was going to ask you when did we go through We Were Here Together? Was that after the quarantine started or?
Yeah. I don't remember.
I mean, there's that.
Yeah, there was that. Well, and I played The Witcher 3 since quarantine started. I don't know. I can't.
You still haven't finished the DLC, have you?
I still haven't finished it. I've been playing a lot of Persona and Raft.
Yeah.
There's so many games to play.
There are.
Especially while you're quarantined. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and I've been playing Animal Crossing.
Everyone's been playing Animal Crossing.
Playing Animal Crossing. And it's nice because actually my brother and his wife live here with us now, and they have a Switch, so we've been doing Just Dance, trying to get some exercise because we can't go out anywhere.
Yeah, you can't go to the club and
Yeah. I know you used to do that a lot, Hannah, and I know you love going to the club and all that.
I never went to the club or the gym. But now we're finding ways to try and stay healthy while being stuck at home.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think that's it for me.
Nice. I am this is a weird time for me to now discuss what I am playing. It's kind of what am I not playing? I just finished streaming all of the class stories in Star Wars The Old Republic, the MMO. I also replayed a lot of games, actually. I replayed Knights of the Old Republic 2. I replayed all of the Devil May Cry games, except 2. I still haven't I've gotten probably most of the way through it. It's just that's such a stupid game. Anyways, I played through all those. I played through The Darkness 1 and 2, which are some of my favorite games of all time, especially the first one. I played through Star Wars The Force Unleashed 1 and 2. I played through a lot.
Apparently.
I went through early on during the quarantine. I went through the Division 1 and the Division 2. And also Destiny 1 and Destiny 2, which they actually just released, they just started the new season of Destiny 2 and announced like 3 or 4 new expansions coming up, one coming out in September this year, which I'm looking forward to. So I got a little bit into that one, but I don't think I'm going to buy the season pass right now because
I just remembered something.
Well, too bad I'm talking.
But I remembered something.
Okay, what?
I remember that a friend of mine made me download Overwatch recently, and so I started playing that.
Oh, yeah. Overwatch is a great game. It's been a long time since I played it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I'm terrible at it.
I don't remember when it's coming out, but
Overwatch 2?
I think it was last year they announced Overwatch 2, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
I'm currently really bad at Overwatch.
Yeah, but
there have been a lot of people who've had it for a long time who have gotten pretty good.
Definitely.
Yeah. I'm not terrible.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty bad.
And
did we watch some playthrough on that last November for y'all's birthday, Hunter?
Oh,
I mean,
We were at a restaurant.
If we were at Battle and Brew, then they probably had the tournament on.
They had it on the TV.
At Avalon.
Yeah.
Overwatch League, probably.
Yeah, you got some professionals out there.
Yeah. No.
For real. And I like Atlanta Reign, I think, is the team in Atlanta. So Yeah. It's just,
Anyway,
anyways,
back
so
to you,
yeah.
Randall.
Also, I just recently also started, like today, yesterday, whatever. Started over another franchise that I really love because the fourth one is coming out soon. I don't remember exactly when. But I just started Dragon Age Origins again. It's a new character on there, and then I'm planning on going through the whole series just on my own. So Origins 2 and then Inquisition, which are all really good. I recommend them. On PC is probably the best place, at least to play the first one. I have not played the other two on PC yet, but first one's kind of tough on console. And I'm going through the Batman Arkham series again. I'm playing it in technically chronological order because I'm starting with Origins. The rest is just Asylum City Night.
Yeah, it's just yeah, you play the main 4. There are some side ones that are on like handheld console.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Even Origins isn't really like a main one, since that was I think not Ubisoft, Warner Brothers Montreal.
Yeah.
It's not considered part of the main line.
It's a fun one, but it just wasn't. It doesn't have that. Doesn't like, doesn't hit as hard as the other ones.
It is a little annoying because, and spoilers if you haven't played it yet, so you've been warned for Arkham Origins. It's a little annoying because they set it up as, okay, the villain is actually not Joker like it was for the first two. You're actually going against Black Mask and all these assassins that he did. And it's like, twist, it actually is the Joker. He's the villain. Yeah. Kind of like what they did in the last one as well, which is also sort of annoying. But yeah, I actually just this morning bought I guess it was a remastered version of the first two. Yeah.
Yeah, that's on my list.
That's on my console.
That's on my list to buy. I actually
it was only $20 and it wasn't on sale, so I figured it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, I actually have an Amazon gift card because I could buy that on Amazon. Yeah.
And I think. Oh well, again, I'm still doing some more on my own in Star Wars: The Old Republic. But once I kind of wrap up with my streaming on the expansions and stuff, and just do a few more things on some characters that I've been wanting to level up and go through that with, I'm probably going to be moving back into World of Warcraft for a while, especially for the new expansion, and just try to level up my characters as soon as I can, while they're doing, or as quick as I can, while they still have the double XP thing going on.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
I do just have one quick honorable mention for games, because this is something I've been playing for ages and it's a great time, which is Slay the Spire. It's a sort of deck building game. It's really casual, but it's good to just like relax and play a little card game. So
I've played it some, not much though.
Yeah, it's a good time. I've logged 185 hours in it. So
yeah. And if you haven't been paying attention, although if you're a gamer and care about it, then I assume you have. But they're doing showcases for games lately. So they just did the Sony
PS5
showcase.
Yeah. There's one game that I'm really excited about, and I will not have the console to play it on, but I'm going to watch someone play it on YouTube. And I'm sure it's the same one you're thinking of.
Probably.
Which is the new Spider-Man game.
Yeah, so...
where you get to play as Miles Morales.
I don't know how what all you're aware of with that, but that is not so much... My understanding is that that's not so much a full-length new title. It's kind of like a standalone DLC, basically.
So, I've been playing the Witcher 3, and I feel like its DLCs are very much like their own thing.
Yeah, but so they're still connected to the rest of the world.
Right, so I imagine it's probably a similar sort of thing.
The only thing I can really think to compare it to that I know is, which I'm sure neither of you have played since you guys don't own a PS4, right?
Nope.
No.
Yeah, no.
I guess I do
is
now.
Uncharted. Uncharted 4
yeah.
actually had kind of a similar thing
I know what
with,
you're talking about.
I'm blanking on its title like I do everything. It's the one who plays the ladies.
Right.
The two
Yeah,
ladies.
I know what you're talking about,
Also,
but I'm
their
blanking
names
on the name
I'm
as
thinking of.
well. Yeah.
Yeah. And that was good. I enjoyed it. I played it. I actually got into Uncharted 4 when it was gifted to me, like when it came out, and I was like,
Yeah,
oh.
I think when my brother moved into my house, he brought a PS4. I need to see if I can find that and play Uncharted, because if oh dear, because if we're gonna mention gorgeous games, Uncharted 4 is
Oh, yeah.
gorgeous. It's so
Definitely.
pretty.
Lost Legacy, I think.
Nah, that sounds
Yeah.
familiar.
That's also a gorgeous game. Of course, naturally it is.
Right.
If Uncharted 4 is. And
It's perfect.
I actually am more excited, more interested, let's say, about the PlayStation 5 than I was originally. Because I didn't think there were going to be a lot of games I was going to be interested in. I'm very interested now. Largely, I'm interested in Demon's Souls because I never got to play it because I never owned a PlayStation 3.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
And
that
they're
seems really
remaking
cool.
it, so I'm definitely excited. If
Yeah,
you
that's
guys, well, actually, again, you guys haven't played it, but if you've heard of Shadow of the Colossus,
I know what that is.
you know, they did a remake for that recently, and it was Blue Point
Mhm.
Games, and they're the same company that's remaking Demon's Souls. So I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, so all that stuff, it's
Yeah, I very, very quickly
threatening
skimmed through all
Xbox
the releases.
Yeah.
Yeah, and those were kind of the two, I think, that I stood out most to me was Demon's Souls and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
There's
I'm
a lot of people-
probably gonna have to end up with both consoles.
Can you afford both consoles?
I mean, I started a savings account specifically for that, but
Yeah.
That's cool. I started a savings account so I can move out of my parents' basement and have a baby.
well, that's
I-
one thing to do.
I have mine so I can move away from Eastman.
Mine's also kind of for moving, which is why I'm iffy now about.
Yeah.
But I feel you,
About
Hunter.
both.
I do want the Series X when it comes out. But I also feel like I still need some more time to appreciate my own Xbox One.
Yeah.
But
I feel like
when we come to it.
I feel like at this point I'm just used to having my games limited because I'm just almost 100% a PC gamer.
Yeah.
Which is why I was so excited when they said Persona 4 was on Steam.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, Persona 4, I feel like kind of unanimously is like the worst out of 3, 4, and 5. But it's still good, and I'm still like,
Yeah.
Nice.
played 6 hours in the last 2 days, so clearly I'm a fan.
Yeah. Well, again, I think the Series X it looks like it's definitely going to be more powerful and just a better like machine.
Oh yeah.
But the PS4 or PS5 definitely has some good looking exclusives, as PlayStation tends to.
Very true.
So
Well, we can get into a
actually
debate on
I
that.
I actually really like the look of it too, honestly, which I mean it is kind of silly and it does look definitely like a router.
I was gonna say I love all the memes. So like, would you prefer
yeah.
a mini fridge or a Wi-Fi router?
Yeah.
I saw someone said I splurged and got both, but it was a picture of like their router with some aesthetics attached to it, and then whatever the Xbox Series X was, it was ridiculous. But it was like I was like, wait a minute, no way. It's like, oh, he's effing with me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyways, that wraps up games. So finally, what are you listening to? Got any music you've been especially enjoying lately?
The musical
you wanna
stylings
share?
of Hannah and Hunter.
You know my
they're
answer.
kind of an indie band. You know, they tend to go for the middle route sometimes. You know,
Lots of screaming.
Doesn't
yeah,
sound
there's a
right
lot of
to me.
screaming, usually at each other. You know,
Right,
Hey,
right.
I never scream at anybody.
No, it's really frustrating.
Yeah. It's just Hannah screaming at me usually.
I'm just very passionate. What can I say?
Hannah, stop it.
Yep.
I was gonna say, other than that, in reality, I've been listening. Not same old. I find that has kind of helped me with the virus pandemic that we've had going on, just to let's find some comfort music, just some stuff I've been, some stuff to keep me that I listen to all the time, but it keeps me motivated. But I started listening to a little more. I looked at some of Little Richard's music after hearing that he passed away. He's just a very like loud, but very, he was an amazing artist from his time. Also checking out Pusha T. Just trying to get some different music in there.
Mm-hmm.
I've been listening to K-pop again.
Of course,
and
you
it's
have.
great.
Again, when did you stop?
I stopped for a few years there. Not to get dark or anything, but like,
here we go.
My favorite group, one of their members committed suicide a couple years back, and that there was kind of like a lull in my K-pop listening to around that time. But it's been revitalized. And it's been a lot of fun having all of that back, because it's just, again, it's one of those things where it's like, it's just a good time. It's fun and it makes you want to dance, and I just need a little bit of that right now.
Yeah.
So I've been going back and listening to some oldies as well, because they're classic. So yeah, nothing super new for me. I'm always thinking about other things I should be listening to. I need to listen more Nightwish, because Nightwish is awesome. I made you listen to Nightwish, Hunter.
You have?
Yeah, that one time that we were in the car together, stuck in traffic. Yeah. Made you listen to Nightwish. Yeah.
Okay.
And told you to vote for Andrew Yang. So give a context as to when that was.
Yeah.
A different time.
Yeah. When there were more than 2 people running for the presidency.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or more than. Yeah. You're right.
Yeah.
Good times.
Yeah. Nicer times. It was before 2020.
Yeah.
It was a different time.
The best of times.
Anyways, I assume that was it. It sounded like you were done, Hannah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
I need to get more into video game music as well, because.
So, I'm sorry.
I just need to go through the effort of sorting through all of it. It's kind of the
that
thing.
also just brought me to what I was going to lead with. Death Stranding came out last year, and that is a game that has fantastic music, especially very in fitting with the just the tone of the game, the theme of the game and everything.
I wouldn't have thought they have a good soundtrack.
It's really good, and a lot of it is, most of the soundtrack probably is Low Roar. I don't know if you've heard of them, if you're familiar with them. It's very calming. For the most part, it's very calming, relaxing music.
Interesting.
Kind of a dark-ish tone, I guess.
Yeah.
And then, of course, they did actually have an album that I think was entirely new music for the game. I'm not 100% sure on that. I know at least 1 or 2 songs were, a few songs were. But it really got me into, of all of the bands that were featured on it, Churches is the one that really stuck with me. Not sure if you're too familiar with them, and if you're not and want to look them up, it is Churches with a V, so CHVRCHES.
Not sure why I know who that is, but I'm familiar. I was going to say, I forgot to add to my video game list. I actually recently downloaded an emulator and played Super Mario RPG, which is, in my opinion, probably the least, or like I guess the least well-known of all of the great Mario games. It's a good time.
I have not heard about it.
Really? It's so good. It's so good. And I've been thinking about going and trying to find the soundtrack from some of that stuff, because it has a really good soundtrack as well.
And I really want. I don't know where I can play it. I hate using emulators, honestly, but
I do too.
I really want to play, because it's been years and years. I really want to play Paper Mario.
Oh, really?
There's 2, I think, right? I think I only played the
think so.
first. I think I only played the first one, but
there's one.
The only reason I downloaded an emulator is because I just got my Switch a few months ago. A few months ago, and
You're
they
hungry.
have emulators. I am hungry. They have emulators on the Switch for the Super Nintendo and the classic Nintendo, but Super Mario RPG isn't on there, and neither is Donkey Kong Country, which is my other favorite game with also a great soundtrack. And so I was like, they don't have them on there, but I really want to play them. Like, that was the main reason I downloaded the emulators, the like legit emulators. And I was like, I'm just gonna have to go find a bootleg emulator somewhere, and I did. So shame on me.
On a
hand.
website or
Yeah. I was very careful.
Yeah.
Did my research first, but
Yeah.
I really wanted to play Super Mario RPG. It's really good. If you haven't played it or heard of it, you definitely should.
So now back to me with my music stuff.
I'm sorry.
Again, churches I've really been getting into. And as well, I've actually been listening to a lot of covers lately. So I subscribe to Google Play Music Unlimited, whatever that's called. I think that's what it's called. But yeah, it's the Google Play Music thing. And they have, it's kind of like Pandora in a way, or a lot of those other things.
Yeah.
So they have like stations that you can listen to as well. So two that I've really been getting into are one, it helps me sleep a lot of times. I'll listen to sad covers of pop songs, which some of them are really surprising.
Okay.
That you just wouldn't expect like a mellow tune to. Like there's a cover of What Is Love on there, and it does not sound anything like the
Interesting.
What would you call that song? Like techno, electronic?
Yeah, electronic I think is closer.
Yeah.
Because techno is a little bit more new agey.
And it's really interesting because it's like acoustic guitar and it's really soft and mellow. I love it. But and there's I'm trying to think of the exact name. It's like hard rocking party covers, which you may notice a lot of them because a lot of those are more popular. You get like Atreus's cover of the Boys of Summer, or is that Boys of Summer?
I don't know.
It was I'm blanking on everything. It was a Don Henley song, I believe. And you get things that you might just expect. But you also get some other weird choices. Like it got stuck in my head so long because it's so good, but I never would have expected Motley Crue to cover Like a Virgin. But they do it great.
That doesn't
actually
surprise me.
It surprised me.
Yeah, I would be very surprised.
It's good. It's really good, actually. And yeah, there's just a few like that, and I just don't expect them. Again, like on the sad covers of pop songs, there's you guys anyone familiar with Starships? I think it's by Nicki Minaj. Yeah. There's there's a cover of that, another like acoustic, soft, mellow cover of that, and you just
I remember listening to it was for Titanium, and it was this girl on the piano,
probably Jasmine Thompson.
I can't remember her name, but I ripped it from YouTube or a site that I got it from a website that I ripped it from YouTube, and it was just a piano solo cover of Titanium, and she's putting all her emotions into it.
Yeah. I'm sure this is not surprising to either of you, but I'm generally more into like acapella covers of things.
I have the hardest time with acapella stuff.
Do you?
Because it's so much of it is, and this is gonna maybe be a little weird, it's so poppy, I guess. Like it feels more poppy than pop.
Maybe. I feel like the thing to me that makes me really enjoy it, honestly, is the fact, I think I've talked about this before, the fact that like as a someone who has been classically trained to sing and is in the mezzo soprano, so like the middle high range as a female, like listening to a cappella and hearing like those bass notes being done, and I'm like, that is so beyond the realm of anything I feel like the human voice should be able to do.
Mhm.
And it's just like, it's amazing, and it gives me like the good kind of shivers.
Ooh.
Yeah, good shivers. Yeah. So yeah, I'm really into that kind of stuff.
Yeah. But of course, I'm pretty much always listening to just as well whatever I happen to feel like listening to at the time, or whatever anyone just plays for me.
I definitely
Usually
feel
I'll
like
just listen.
I feel like music is like the one thing right now that I really haven't been getting into anything new. Because like with games and movies and TV, like there's still stuff coming out, and especially like with Netflix and I don't have Disney Plus, but with Disney Plus, like things are still being released. But like new music, I feel like the only way I ever really got exposure to that is the radio. And now that I don't leave my house and I don't get in the car, and I definitely don't go anywhere like without my husband.
Yeah. Or if you're not listening to a podcast or
yeah, like we just don't listen to the radio. So
Yeah.
I feel like I have no idea what's going on in the music world right now.
Yeah, people. I mean, I'm sure artists are still going to doing studio stuff in their homes or doing.
I know.
Like a local studio, and they're releasing like.
I know some people.
Yeah.
Albums are being released. Or,
I know
and
Ninja
some
Sex
singles
Party is releasing an album later this year.
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
So yeah, they said that they're like super proud of it and looking forward to it. So definitely excited about that.
Nice.
But yeah, it's like if they're not announcing things on YouTube and I don't already follow them, no idea what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I guess it's one of those things where we might have to wait for things to get quote unquote back to normal. So I guess the regular flow of new music can start again.
I feel like we need to change it to like back to the new normal.
I don't want to call it normal. Just.
I mean, I'm hoping some things are changing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, I'm starving.
Hopefully for the better.
Yes, for the better. Let's hope for the better.
All right, I think that, for me at least, just about wraps it up. What about you guys? How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling good.
I want to eat now.
Okay, I figured as much. You got class in like 40 minutes.
I do. I have class in 40 minutes, so I need to eat.
This is the end of season 2.
Season 2.
Of Nerd Variety, and hope you guys enjoy. We will be coming up with a schedule for season 3.
The third season.
Yep.
Season 3, the third season.
Trilogy time.
I expect we will also be working on improving our website over the summer a little bit, and I actually just recreationally posted on Twitter at 4 a.m. last night, so I'm trying to get better at that.
Yeah.
So we're going to try and continue to improve what this looks like and come back bigger and better than ever.
Yep.
In July, August, September.
Honestly, I think we did a good job coming back this season, stronger than we did the first season. But that's just me. So hopefully we'll just keep getting better and better.
Always improving.
Yeah.
Leave us a comment or tell us what you think, and give us suggestions for next time.
And you can email us. I don't remember if we have a mailing list yet, but you can just email us or anything. We can see about that. And
Twitter and Facebook.
We're looking at
Instagram.
So again, we discussed that the first season we started July 10th last year, but we're probably going to push that back a little, maybe to late July or early August.
Beginning of August.
I don't know. So just stay tuned for that, and we may try to get some kind of content up during this time. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys continue to listen, and we thank you all so much for your support.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
See you next season.
Yep.
Yes. Stay safe.
Until we see you next time, let's all say it together.
Nerd out.
Okay, I wasn't together, but we got it.
We tried.
Yes,
we'll work on that too.
Yep. Later.
Bye.